Awesome. Yeah, apologies. Like I'm in the middle of like a mountain trek, so my network here is really bad. So
Yeah,
apologies in advance for that.
not a problem. But yeah, I think we're live now. Welcome
Sure.
everyone to the kickoff ceremony, to the opening ceremony of Road to Hackmos. Super excited for this one. This is going to be big for the developers in India. Um, Lynn, is it all good? Are we still live?
I think we got wrecked.
Lynn, I just wanted to check, is it all good? Are we still live? Okay, I think we're good to go. But yeah, like I was saying, this is going to be big for the developers in India, especially. We have a series of efforts going on in different cities like Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, which is led by Cosmoverse, and a few partners like Mantra, Warden, Union, Omniflix. And these are a series of developer interactions and workshops. Like I said, the efforts of which will lead to Hackmos. And there would be a few projects shortlisted and a few teams shortlisted who would be, who would have the opportunity to fly to Hackmos in Dubai, which is October 25th to 27th. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sito. But we do have a few guests with us today. First is Sito, Rhythm, David, and Ali. And the agenda for today is going to be just talking about the submissions, introducing the city leads, them talking about their projects, what the developers need to build. And we're going to keep it super casual. So feel free to ask any questions that you have in the chat, and we'll take it up towards the end or as we stop. But yeah, feel free to just write anything. Just tell us what you're excited about, tell us what you're building, any questions that you have for any specific city leads. And yeah, we also have a series of events live today, it happening in different cities, which all of which you can also find on the page that I'm going to share towards the end of the call today. But yeah, on to you, Sito.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mishika, and the whole DoraHacks team. You have been great partners also over the past years, to be honest. I think doing hackathon developer onboarding is like its own art, and I think you guys have done a really good job at that. I think before I share some context on Hackmos and like what we're doing also with the Cosmoverse developers track, I want to give it to Rhythm, who's also done an amazing job on our team over the past 6 weeks, working with us relentlessly, shilling people into signing up for Hackmos and coming to our events in India. I think overall we had over 1,000 registrations across all 4 cities. Mishika, like you mentioned, we did in-person events in Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore. So in all those 4 cities, we've done in-person events, and I think this is probably like the first time that Cosmos as an ecosystem is like, putting in real efforts. And this is obviously also thanks to, I see Santosh is also in the waiting room, foundership and projects like Warden Protocol. Ali is also here, going to share some words. Omniflix and led by Sisla, who has done an amazing job as well. Mantra, Union also, the fellowship program is also something very exciting that some of the audience might have participated. But yeah, maybe Rhythm, you can share some of your kind of experience. You're also obviously based in India. How was that for you and also for the kind of local Indian developer community?
Yeah, thank you, Sito, for handing over the stage to me. So basically, you know, Cosmos India has been there since long. I mean, it's been there since 2021, I guess. But there were no significant conference or significant events happening. So, I tried to arrange some event back in 2022, but, lack of resources and other things, I was not able to do so. But still, I organized one event named CosmoCon, which was really a big hit in India. And we came to know that, people in India are actually interested in Cosmos, but they are not getting proper guidance and proper resources so that they can build in the Cosmos ecosystem. And that is where Cito and whole Cosmos team came to me, and we started working on Cosmos India. because we believe that the potential over here in Indian developers is huge, but they still lack some guidance. So our major agenda was to, have a couple of projects leading each city where we are organizing some event, and they can have some education sessions, they can have some networking session with the founders and co-founders of those projects, and they can learn more about Cosmos, they can learn about those specific projects, and they can start building on top of them. So that was the basic agenda. And as Tito said, that we had over 1,000 applications and 1,000 people who were interested in attending the event that we had in India. So, again, the market is huge. People are actually excited, and we are glad that we were able to help all the Indian developers in getting familiar with the Cosmos ecosystem. And all thanks to all our community partners like Foundership, GoalScript, Deepverse, Blockchain India, and many more. Because of which we were able to penetrate deep into the Indian developer ecosystem. So yeah, kudos to all the people, kudos to all the teams, city leads, and everyone who were associated with us. And this is just the beginning. This is actually just the beginning. Who knows? We can have the next Cosmoverse event happening over here in India itself, and all the people from around the globe can, accumulate in India, and it could be a big hit. It could be something similar what Solana and Polygon are doing in India. So maybe, I mean, fingers crossed, really. Let's see if we can have next Cosmoverse happening in India. Okay, that's it from my side. Peace out.
Inshallah, Habibi. Yeah, maybe we can do that. I think, yeah, like this year, I think we really put in a lot of groundwork to, like you said, also make Cosmos known as an ecosystem. Because I also think like a lot of people, they have this misconception about Cosmos being Atom only. But in fact, Cosmos is an ecosystem of sovereign layer 1 blockchains, right? And I think it allows for customization. It allows for very like tailored technology stacks to be built for specific use cases, right? And I think this is a good transition into basically what we're doing at Cosmoverse for the developers track. I know a lot of the audience, like people that are listening right now, have already registered. They're already committed to kind of come to Cosmoverse to participate also in our developers track. But I also want to just briefly share some more context here. So Cosmoverse is our flagship conference that we're hosting once a year. This is the 4th edition. We started in 2021 in Portugal. We did 2022 in Colombia. Last year, Istanbul. And this year we're doing Dubai, which is also why we have been, investing a lot of time, resources, and efforts into this developer onboarding program in India, because obviously India is just around the corner from here. Every city is pretty much a 2.5 hours flight away. The population here in Dubai is Indians, a lot of Indians here. So I think this is like almost home for probably many of you, like a second home. And what we're doing this year, like I was saying, Cosmos allows for customization to specific use cases and verticals, right? Which is why we're basically breaking up the conference into specific verticals, right? And we call that Cosmoverse tracks. So we're going to have different tracks ranging from Bitcoin to RWAs, which is tokenization, and DeFi and interchain. There's going to be a Cosmos Hub specific track, app chains, artificial intelligence, right? ZK even, right? Some of them are more technical, some of them are more kind of on the business side. But I think this allows for everyone, whether you're a developer, investor, just a token holder that wants to like learn more and get connected in crypto. I think this allows for you to have a much more productive conference experience, because you can really refine your, the talks that you're listening to, the people that you're meeting according to those tracks. So you will actually receive a custom agenda. And if you're a developer, which I hope many of you in the audience are, then you will receive a custom agenda that is not public yet, but we're going to share it in the coming days. That includes a developer stage where we have programming that's tailored for developers and builders. We have multiple workshop rooms. So there's going to be a lot of sessions from a lot of these projects around how to build on your chain. You have mentorship, you'll have access to the founders directly. We also have a lot of activations at Cosmoverse itself. And if you want to meet anyone, right, I think Cosmoverse is really the place where you can show up and you'll have direct access to all of those people. And then the main thing which I want to share with everyone here is to register for a developer's pass for Hackmos. Hackmos is our in-person hackathon that we're doing now for the second time. We did Istanbul last year. There's also some good pictures to, for you guys to get a feeling for it. If you go here, click on Hackmos 2023, you can see the vibes. We have, very, very good food. We put a lot of focus also on like making the whole experience like legendary, right? Like quality food, drinks, food and beverages throughout the conference, throughout Hackmos. You don't have to worry about that. If you want to have whatever you need, like you're gonna have it there. You don't have to worry about anything. It's like an all-inclusive experience, basically. We have some chill corners. It's also an overnight hackathon, so you can actually stay at the venue. It's a very nice venue in downtown Dubai. And yeah, just have access to a lot of mentors and people running around, including also the Dora team. They're going to be there. They also are partners for the on-ground execution. And yeah, all you have to do is basically sign up for a developer's pass. We have lots of tracks and bounties. Right now we have 4, 7, 8 tracks listed. There's going to be a few more. But all of these projects will have their own tracks for which you can register. And then each of these tracks will have teams winning actual prize money, right? And usually the way we do it, I mean, we're still in the final steps of like finalizing the prize pools, but there's going to be 2 or 3 teams that win prize money. So the chances for you to actually win prize money are very, very high, considering that you have multiple prize pools and you can participate in all of these tracks and bounties, like Agoric is doing a bounty there. So the session today is basically for everyone to understand what we're doing here, to also put on your radar that you can register for a developer's pass. If you get approved, that means you have free access for Hackmos and Cosmoverse, which also means F&B throughout the entire time. And then on top of that, the goal for this session today, the in-person events that we're doing as well, to round up also Cosmos India, is that we're also going to sponsor the entire trip, which includes flight and accommodation for a couple of the most active contributors from this campaign from Cosmos India. I know some of you are very passionate about getting involved, building, coming to Hackmos, but might not have the resources to fly out. So we will subsidize that. And yeah, I think that's all from my side. And I think I will hand it over to Santosh from Foundership, who's also done a great job at campaigning, onboarding people, helping us with the on-ground events across all cities in India. So yeah, Santosh, I think over to you.
Thank you, Sito. Thank you. Good morning, all. Thank you so much, Sito and Rhythm and the entire Cosmoverse ecosystem for setting the trust and initiating. We were definitely looking forward to it, right? Let me admit that this is a wonderful initiative to be part of it. So equally, we were interested to say what can we bring as a support. And just a quick background to Foundership. Foundership has been in supporting builders, founders, as an accelerator and as a fund since 2021, 2022 June onwards. We've been running cohorts across multi-chain. So the multi-chain is a foundational thinking for us, and Cosmos is the sort of the connecting block across all the blockchains, right? So it makes a lot of sense for us to be of support and to add value and to activate the entire ecosystem. We're definitely sort of seen the passion Sito has and Rhythm has and the entire ecosystem to bring people to come out and develop. And I think fundamentally, I've been a developer since long, started my career with Web 1. So I can tell you how the world was when somebody says nothing is going to happen in .com or post.com. The same thing is happening in blockchain. So personally, and at Foundership, all of us, my co-founder Bimlesh, my head of capital Pranav, we are all motivated to activate the ecosystem to bring quality developers and folks with right intent to work and bring that together. Now, quickly, I'll not take a lot of time about Foundership, but Foundership has been doing cohorts with various chains. So we have done around 6 cohorts now with 49 startups from all over the world. We also went with a motivation to build a community, because we realized that a lot of founders, a lot of our ecosystem partners need community as a way to go to the next level, right? That's the Web3's fundamental difference between Web 2 and Web 1 and others. So we created a community for ourselves and for all our partners, for all our founders, and that has been running Blockmeet across cities. We at one point of time, we did 40 cities across worldwide. So that's one part of it. We also have coaches from all over the world, people who have been in the multi-chain on a variety of things. We bring them as coaches, and they help the startups in our cohort to build in the right directions. And we also have capital partners in terms of VCs and investors and angel investors. If you are building a startup, you should truly look at leveraging what we call as our 3C: coach, capital, and community, to help you to go in the right direction. Right. So that's a quick nutshell about foundership, and we are absolutely looking forward to being with Cosmos ecosystem and Cosmoverse. As Rhythm said, I would definitely be thrilled if Cosmoverse comes to India next year, and all my support for whatever is required. But with that, once again, hugely thankful to Sito and the Cosmoverse team and the Cosmos ecosystem for setting the trust. I know it is not easy for all of us when we are doing so many things, right? Crypto is a moving ecosystem. It's not a static ecosystem. So many things are going all around, and we still found a lot of our founders, Ali is right here, a lot of Cosmoverse and founders and partners came in, shared their time for X-Space and for a lot of campaigns to outreach developers. So with that, thank you so much. Looking forward to have fantastic hundreds of developers going out and doing some quality, amazing work, and be part of a fantastic sort of next generation sort of blockchain based products and protocols to be developed around customers.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I think, we talked earlier about some numbers, like over 1,000 people sign up for Cosmos India across all events, which is crazy. Over 500 of them, I think, showed up already to the events that we've done across all cities. And we received nearly 300 registrations for Hackmos, for our in-person hackathon.
Amazing.
I think especially in a market like we had over the past 2.5 years in crypto, right? It's been down only. Everyone is frustrated. Everything is bleeding. Everyone's losing money. But I think the developers' interest really shows, like, also for Cosmos ecosystem, right? That there's like demand for people to build, right? And I think this is really important for an ecosystem to sustain in the longer run. It shows like the pipeline and the kind of demand for developers. So it's actually good to see that there's so big demand, and like people warned me like, yo, if you do this in India, like be prepared that you're gonna have large crowds. And we had actually very little time to prepare for all of this. I think a lot of things were also we're just like making up as we're planning things, but we still have over 1,000 registrations. I think a lot more than that actually. So yeah, it's very, very impressive. And I think this is definitely something to build on. I also want to point out that like, this is not something like, okay, after Cosmos, like we're not coming back to India. We're not doing anything anymore. Obviously, it's also a question of kind of resources and team structures. But I definitely want to keep this going. I also definitely want to stay in touch and keep the Indian community active, because I think this is definitely the powerhouse for crypto developers in the future, right? And if you look at a lot of teams, big teams, you talked about Solana, I think as well earlier. Super Team is very, very big in India. I think Aptos has a strong presence there. A lot of different Polygon, obviously, right? Sandeep is also from India. So yeah, I think Cosmos really needs to, as an ecosystem collectively, invest a lot more into India and be more present. But yeah, I think moving on from the agenda, I think Sisla just joined. I'll give you a few minutes to kind of get set up. But Ali has been around for a little bit, so maybe let's start with Ali if you're ready, and maybe you can just share a little bit about Warden. Maybe you can share a little bit about Cosmos Mumbai, and sorry for disturbing you. I know you're on vacation. Also, happy belated birthday. I think your birthday was 2 days ago. But yeah, how's everything going? And maybe a quick introduction of Warden and Cosmos Mumbai.
Yeah, thanks so much, Peter. Appreciate that, and appreciate you for the wishes. like before I get started, which I think like David is also here, who's like the CEO, and I would love to for him to like talk about Warden. But before that, I just want to make an extension to what Sito you were saying, and also like what Rhythm you were saying. Like one of the things in India is like projects like Polygon and Solana have like deep penetrated into the developers ecosystem. So even when I spoke to a lot of developers in person and I asked them like, how did you get into like Web3? And they were like, oh, we attended the Solana workshop, or we did this and that. And I think like one of our bigger like, major hurdles right now would be to have them like change their focus from like only one chain to like having a multi-chain like perspective, like what Solana or what like Cosmos sells. So I think that's going to be like one of the challenges that like, as an ecosystem we will face. But again, like shout out to like the whole team for like doing this in India. And I think like over the last few years, a lot of things have changed. More interest has come in Web3. Like students straight out of college or like even in grad school are like wanting to become devs in Web3, and I think this is like the best time for all of them to just like get started in Web3 and like Cosmos in general. Um, David, if you're around, like would love to like hear from you. A quick intro about Warden, and then we can take over about like the Mumbai chapter.
I think we might David is around.
David, are you there? All right.
I see him muted. I don't know.
Let me try to. Okay. But actually, like maybe before while he's like getting connected or like sorted out, I can like quickly do a recap of like Cosmos Mumbai. So first of all, I want to like preface this by saying thank you so much for this like opportunity to like lead the Mumbai track. I think it was like very also very personal to me because like Mumbai is my hometown. So like I've grown up there, so I know a lot of things there, a lot of vibes there. It was like was sort of like a homecoming for me. Um, a lot of things were like exciting. So a couple of things that I learned in that space was like one thing, of course, like developers are really excited. Like I was like swamped with questions and like just concerns and like just genuine curiosity of developers and like how to get started in Web3 and like what is Cosmos and how is it different from Ethereum or Solana or like what can we do to like a couple of teams actually came and like asked me for like pointers to win the hackathon, which I think is a good start in general to like think about these things in the beginning. So I think that was like super awesome. And then again like one of the things like that really touched my heart was I met a couple of people, I think like about 15-20 people who like traveled almost for like 500 kilometers to attend the Mumbai event, which like truly showed like how passionate they are of like learning about Cosmos and like Web3 in general. um, and also like since we are very big on AI and we really want to push this AI narrative that we have, a lot of teams also like showed excitement about AI, which I think clearly shows like how much potential AI has, especially the AI instant verification space, which is like which is the main focus of Warden. So I think that is like amazing. So I can like also like quickly take a step back and talk about like Warden in general and like what are we like thinking that you guys can build um in Hackmos. So one of the things is Warden is very uniquely positioned in a way that it has a lot of different modular capabilities. So it has like things like spaces and keychains and like cross-chain token transfer to like general message passing, and it has like AI capabilities like AI capabilities, where the inference verifications, which is something that we're currently working on, and also things like if this then that kind of a scheme, and also things like schedulers, which can automate a lot of things. So I think like all of these things are like modular capabilities, but if you like combine them together, it's like really amazing things that you can do. So like for example, just to give you guys an example, let's say you extract the price of atom using Spinky. And if the price of atom is about $10, then you automatically trigger a cross chain call using GMP and buy some tokens on ETH. So um, you can basically deploy a wasm smart contract on Warden, deploy a smart contract with Ethereum, make them talk to each other, and do these like amazing things, which I think is like which like truly opens up the capabilities of a lot of things. Um, Also, a quick shout out I want to give is to the developer quest that we have ongoing. So this is like an effort that the Warden is running, which is trying to onboard more and more developers. So one cool thing is the Warden quest is thinking very good with or very parallelly with Cosmos. So if you like complete all the quests, you automatically learn all the things that will be required for you to like do the hackathon. So it's like we're guiding you step by step to like win the hackathon. Again, I think all of this opportunity is like good. And again, like the quest gives you an opportunity to win from like about $100,000 worth of like airdrop tokens. It's like you have this opportunity to win airdrop tokens plus an opportunity to win Hackmos. It's like killing two birds with one stone. So yeah, that's it. I think from like one side. Um, and yeah, back to Sito.
Yeah.
And thank you again so much for like organizing these events. Thank you both like Sito and Nitin and the entire Cosmoverse team. Appreciate your efforts.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, and love to hear that people are so passionate to travel 500 kilometers to go to that in-person event. But honestly, like that's also how I got into cryptos, like by going to a physical event in person. And I think if you really meet people that are building in this industry and that are founders and developers and builders, I think it gives you a much better like view of crypto, because then it's more real, right? And I think before that you're just scrolling through coins on CoinGecko and you see it going up and down and you're like, everything is just so abstract. But like meeting people in person at these events, I think is so important. But Ali, just to catch up on that, I don't know if, because I know, so Warden also has a track at Hackmos. I think it's still in development in terms of setting it up on the Dora portal, and we get to that later. Mishika is going to walk everyone through how to sign up there, how to submit, how to find your track, and all these kind of things. But so you mentioned there's this ongoing developer quest, plus the Hackmos track, where people can win bounties basically, right, and tokens. Can you maybe share just briefly more and like to point that out? Also, one, like what type of developers might be interested in that? What would their specs be? How can they be best prepared? And how can they participate in those quests to earn these tokens?
Yeah, sure. So I think like to your very first point on like in-person events, I would say that that's like something that I also like did, because I attended like an in-person event in New York, and that's how I like got interested in the Ethereum space, joined the Ethereum space back then, and that's how like I got into Web3. So 100% with you on that. Like these are the best way to like get started. On your like second and third question, uh, I'll just give a little bit more context about the developer quest that we're running. So with this developer quest, our like our aim is that the developers can learn more and more about like Warden. So the way it's designed is like in the first week, or like when you sign up first, you are given a very simple task of like just reading about Warden and like penning down your thoughts, either in the form of a tweet or either the form of blog or anything or video in any format, just like penning down your thoughts. And once you get interested, then each week or like each 2 weeks, like we progress, we make a progressive increase in the level of difficulty. So for example, in like the week 3 or like week 3, you will start learning more about like general message passing. So we use like XLR, for example. a general message passing, and you will learn like how to deploy a smart contract on Warden, possible smart contract, and then obviously there are a lot of tools available how to deploy a smart contract on Ethereum, and then we will teach you through the quest of how would you talk between these two like platforms. And in the next week following that, we have like more a bit more like difficult quest, which is like analyzers, like how to build an L1 analyzer, and then we teach you like how do you extract Oracle information from Slinky, the price feeds, etc. So all of these things will like progressively teach you and make you better. And by the time you like finish the quest, which would be somewhere on the lines of like October last week, so matches well with the Hackmos thing. You will be by then like very well versed with like all the different capabilities that like the Warden has to like offer. And then in terms of your like third question, uh, one of the big things that we're like looking forward to is for you to like have AI prediction models or something that you can build. So, for example, just as an example, if the example I was giving before, so if you see the price of Atom going about $10, you trigger a transaction on Uniswap to like purchase some XYZ tokens. So all these kind of things would be like awesome that you could build, but we don't want to like necessarily restrict you in building the whole process, right? So even if you are able to like deploy something cool on Warden, and then use one of our other features, like for example, we have features like keychain. So keychain would allow you to like sign transactions based on different conditions if are met or not. So if you can like combine, uh, if not all, but like maybe like 2-3 of these capabilities together, you will have a lot of like exciting use cases that you can build. And then just to like conclude, we also want to like encourage people to like keep building even after Hackmos. So we will be like in touch with all the people building during Hackmos, even if you're not a winner. We'll be in touch with you. We'll like help you build. We'll give you like engineering and other guidance and marketing, and also like try to like provide you with some sort of grants to just foster your building process. So that would be a process from one side.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing more context. And yeah, I think a lot of this information will be made available also on the Warden track information or track page on the Dora portal. So Mishika, like I said, we'll share more on that later. And also I think it's important for everyone listening that, you know, in this stream today, in the next hour, we're gonna have a lot of like nuggets, basically, like things, you know, that get you better prepared for what's coming. We're also going to point you to resources, like how to be best prepared, where to source information, who to talk to, because I think it's also very important to always have a point of contact, right? Yeah, I'm going to give it over to Sisla, who is now joined, which is really cool. But I also want to briefly say hello to Dr. Manar from the University of Sharjah. My team has actually, Basil from my team has actually had contact with them for quite some time. We will have also a group of students that will join us at Hackmos Dubai, and I think some of them might also be in the audience today. So it's really good to see also university students taking these events as an opportunity to learn, like from like practical experience from people that have been working in this industry. And I think Hackmos is also a great opportunity for even like junior developers, student developers, right? People that are maybe not experienced in like building in crypto, but they shouldn't be intimidated to come to these events. And I know myself, like I'm sure everyone who is going to their first crypto event, whether it's like virtual or in person, of course, you always feel like kind of scared to ask the wrong questions. But I think that's also what we want to make sure that people are not intimidated. They come to the events and they're like just asking any question, right? And I think this is really what we're doing. This is also why we're doing these Cosmos India events. And yeah, we also have Union going to join in a second, also talking about their fellowship program, where they're also flying out 12 developers, mainly from India, to also join Hackmos. I think Lovnish is going to share more information about that. But first, over to Sisla, who is also doing God's work in the Cosmos ecosystem since years, since we first met 3 years ago, and has also been extremely productive and high throughput and output for the Hyderabad chapter, which Omniflix has been leading. So welcome, Sisla, and maybe you can share about Omniflix and also Cosmos Hyderabad.
Hi everyone. Good morning, everyone. Glad to be here. Firstly, I should thank Cito and team for not just
We got rocked.
I think we got rocked.
Yeah, Sisla needs to reconnect. In the meantime, I think, let's probably get. I don't know, Lovnish, are you ready? Can you jump in to save us? Yeah, maybe Lovnish, you can give an introduction about yourself, Union, and the fellowship program, and also the Delhi chapter which you guys are leading.
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone, and first of all, thank you so much to Cito, and then we have a lot of friends over here. So, glad to see Cosmos ecosystem expanding to India. I started my Web3 journey with a Cosmos ecosystem project called Kitopia, and Cosmoverse is doing a great job. We have hosted 2 events in Delhi till now. The third one is happening today, and we are super excited for it. Today, we are going to talk about ZK and how zero knowledge cryptography works. Sorry, I am having a sore throat. So far, the experience has been amazing, and we at Union, we are building a ZK-based interop layer for Web3. And we are having a fellowship program around Cosmoverse 2024, where we are flying 12 fellows from India, Turkey, Nigeria, Kenya to Cosmoverse. They'll be building on top of Union. They'll be participating in Hackmos, and they'll be going around the conference, meeting a lot of new folks. So super excited for the things that are going to happen in Dubai, and excited to see you all there.
And I also want to say that Union, I think, is also one of the most highly anticipated chains that is launching in the Cosmos ecosystem. Also deals a lot about interoperability and ZK. Like Lovnish was saying, I think today's event in Delhi is also about demystifying ZK. And with regards to the fellowship program that you mentioned, I think the cohort for this specific session that also includes the trip to Dubai is already filled up. But maybe you can share kind of for the next rounds, the next cohort, how people can be best prepared to kind of maximize their chances to get into the fellowship program.
So to get into the fellowship program, you should have a keen interest in Web3 interop. So in my opinion, honestly, there are a lot of chains coming out like every day. We find out like someone is building some new layer 2 or layer 1, right? So we are connecting all these blockchains together, and we want our fellows to have a vision that they see Web3 as a thing where like each and every chain connects together, and the end user is not facing any user experience issue. So we are trying to solve the UX issue in Web3, and we want our fellows to be really keen towards the goal of making Web3 interoperable. Secondly, like if we talk about the tech stack, so like that's not a problem. The chains we are integrating with, so we have already integrated with Polygon, Arbitrum, Scroll, Berachain, and like a lot of chains are going to be announced soon. I'm not naming them right now. So if you are building on top of them, you can leverage Union very easily. So it's more about, if you want to apply for our fellowship, go through the documentation first, understand how Union is working. Then if you have any doubts, you can reach out to me or anyone over the team on Discord, or you can reach us out on Telegram if you have any doubts. And then think of a brief idea. So how the fellowship works is like, we have a 30-minute vibe check to select a fellow. So just think of an idea, like what do you want to build on top of Union, and which chain are you interested in? Then just nail the interview, and we will be super happy to onboard you. Just one thing I have analyzed in the fellowship applications right now, don't use chat GPT to uh, write your answers. So there were some questions like, why are you interested in Web3, and why do you want to build in Web3, or why do you want to build on top of Union? So some people use GPT, and it's like we can easily figure it out. So try to avoid using chat GPT for questions like this. Use chat GPT to help you with your coding stuff. But when someone is trying to judge your enthusiasm, you should not use GPT. That's the only uh, thing that matters to me a lot. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I think generally, if you're trying to get into crypto or whatever, right? If you're trying to get a job or something, I think sometimes people are overthinking too much. And I think what matters more, and even for us, right? We're going to assess also now, who do we want to subsidize their travels for, to come to Hackmos, to come to Dubai. And it's not really about who is the loudest or who has the best resume. It's oftentimes more about, like I said, right? It's about ambition. It's about enthusiasm. It's about actually wanting to do this, right? I think this is a lot more important. Actually showing real interest and being willing to learn, and to come early, to stay late, to talk to everyone, and just to be genuinely interested. I think everything else you can then learn, everything content related. But yeah, I think this is very, very, very important to be more authentic, not, try to be perfect and use AI or whatever to polish some things. I mean, I guess fair enough. A lot of people are doing that, but yeah, I hope you get my point. But yeah, thanks, Lavnish, for sharing that. Also, good luck with the event today. I'm looking forward to see you in 2.5 weeks here in Dubai. It's crazy how soon that is. But yeah, let's try again with Sisla. I don't know, Sisla, is it working now?
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible
You are
right now?
well,
Okay. Sorry, guys. Small
Sorry.
power fluctuation, and I froze. Hi, Santosh. I'm doing very well. Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. Like I mentioned earlier, this has been an amazing experience, for us. I think I should give a shout out to Cito and team, because they have been at it. In 21, we've had this, extremely short window to execute, what we did at our end. And this was in Lisbon during, there was the first Solana breakpoint as well, I think. There was the Web3 summit, right? And yeah, there were a lot of things that were happening at that point in time. But somehow Cito and D managed to pull off a quick 2-day event that got together the Cosmos ecosystem. And then what happened? Of course, there was media that year that was powered by Omniflix. And in 22, we flew down to South America, from here. And it was in Medellin. And we've had people tell us that, they saw the media, that was produced, and, all of the videos of 21. And then came down to 22. Since then we've had this concept around satellite events, right? And that has, I think, taken shape very well this year with not just India. I think India is the more developer focused one, whereas the other cities are focused on other types of communities that we could attract to Cosmos. But I think it went very well this year. Very happy to have been a part of this with our partners from Hyderabad, Bitwit. They've been here, they've organized a workshop. They've been helping us coordinate this as well. Hyderabad DAO, Foundership, Blockchain India. We have had StreamSwap as well, along with Warden, Union, and Mantra. Right. Very glad to have had such partners. We've had community support from Aleph Zero as well, and of course, DoraHacks. So thank you, Sito. Thank you, Cosmos team, for making this happen. And I've been excited for many things, but a few of them I'll state are. I think Ali mentioned that people traveled from other states and other places to be a part of this event, right? For us, maybe it's like one meetup, maybe an evening meetup, and so on and so forth. But I personally think, right, every one of us had experiences. I mean, not here, but like event experiences, which actually shaped the way we do things. Be it work, be it work with people, partners, and so on and so forth. So events have made this huge impact, especially for me, like personally. And I think we have Santosh, who has worked on an event platform, almost 15 years ago. It's like insane to think of that as a startup at that time. I think they were not even called startups; they were just called websites, right? So it was then that things have started taking shape, and today we are here. So very glad to see that we've already, very happy to share that we already have recruited one person that attended these meetups. We thought of doing it afterwards, but there were a few constraints, and we felt that there was potential, and we went ahead. So that happened. Developer recruitment happened. People were very curious about Cosmos. People that did not know about Web3 also started to become curious about Cosmos. And of course, the people that knew, they were like, hey, there is Ethereum, there's Solana, and then there's Cosmos. They've just heard about Cosmos, the stack, maybe a few people about Atom, right? Like that was where it was at. And we've seen people like grow, participate in the hackathon, and surprisingly, like 1% teams that people that had like high motivation, those were the guys that were extremely enthusiastic, extremely curious, right? And then they went ahead, followed the deadlines, with respect to submissions, and actually submitted, right? Not a lot of people can pick these things up in 2 weeks. We took years. Of course, it was a time when we had to go through the code to understand what was happening, more than documentation. But right now, with all the resources available, with everyone available around them, right? I think this is like a brilliant opportunity for people also to make use of. I think not everyone did. Even if like one or two people like make use of this and stay involved in the ecosystem, we'd be more than happy to a great extent. But here we've had more than that. And yeah, again, thanks to all the partners, Cedar and team, for the brilliant execution. And we're very glad to see these satellite events come to life in India and have this kind of a response, right? So yeah, kudos to everyone involved.
So I would love to mention everyone is now keen towards the app chain narrative, but many of the people who were just getting started with Web3, they got to know about Polygon's Ag layer, then Arbitrum's Orbit, but they didn't know like Cosmos was doing all this since way back, right? That was the whole point Cosmos was built for. So I guess this India tour helped everyone to get to know about Cosmos, like the ones who were just getting started with Web3, right? Because India, it's a hub for builders. and each and every chain is like looking forward to expand their ecosystem in India. And this is like a great step from Cosmos, from my interchain foundation, that this thing happened in India and people got to know about it.
Great point, Lavini's point. I'll just add there, and I think that is a fantastic echo for the developers who are hearing it today. What happens in Cosmos today will happen in somewhere else in a year's time, right? So being in the Cosmos will give you not just knowledge, but such an expertise that you're going to be rock star in down the line 6-9 months time when narrative gets formed, right? As Lavini's talked about. I felt the same thing. I think I was personally motivated to bring that insight for the developers to say, don't lose that opportunity to be part of the Cosmos ecosystem, because if you want to be really, really 10x in the game, Cosmos is your way to 10x your game.
Yeah, I really love to hear this. And yeah, I think also, Sisla, really grateful for your, contributions, not only for Cosmos India, but generally for Cosmos, working with us in 3 years, on like the production, the visuals, the media, the live stream. I think without you guys, this also would obviously not be possible the way we're doing it, right? And being the small team that we are at the core at Cosmoverse, I think we kind of also rely on like support from the ecosystem. I think this is also what Cosmos really offers, is like, a lot of teams that are not all, of course, but like some very strong teams that are supporting this vision, that are rallying behind this. Like also Union leading the Delhi chapter, doing events there, flying people out to customers, hosting a workshop, and just like onboarding them, right? I think this is what it's all about. And like sometimes it sounds like a meme, like getting people in there through events, but I think, and not everyone, of course, actually wants to get onboarded. Sometimes people also just come for the free food and drinks, and that's okay as well. But I think, yeah, the net positive is still huge, and I also see a lot of engagement from the people that are just learning about it. Like you guys said, Cosmos, I think, like I also said in the intro, people are still having this misconception that only Atom equals Cosmos, but the fact is that Cosmos is an ecosystem of interconnected layer 1 blockchains. And I think there's currently around 120 chains in production. I think the biggest ones are Celestia, Thorchain is a Cosmos chain as well, right? Injective is a Cosmos chain. Even Fetch AI, which now emerged into the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. So I think the Cosmos ecosystem is really, really big. And even nowadays, like when I talk to people and I say this, like, oh, all these chains are Cosmos chains, they're like, oh, I didn't know that, right? And that's really what a tech stack also allows. It's like you can have your own sovereign execution environment, your own sovereign tech stack, but it also means you'll have your sovereign community, you'll have your sovereign culture, your own vibes, right? And I think people, once you understand this, like, okay, Cosmos is here to stay, right? Probably the most resilient tech stack. Berachain that's coming up is also built partially on Cosmos technology. Babylon as well, right? They're also leading the Bitcoin track. But yeah, Santosh, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, so again, I would like to add one more pointer here. While we were expanding and going to a lot of other community partners at Foundership, we just pulled it around 20 of them. They were simply amazed we were amazed by the fact that they were all wanting to pour in, right? Because these are developer communities. And we could within a 24 hours time, we got 1,000+ views with all these partners, right? And all of them were with the same opinion, saying that more of such things should happen, right? And they might not have learned about Cosmos ecosystem, but I think just on the concept of developers getting a great platform to be part of a global ecosystem, because Cosmos, once you get into Cosmos ecosystem and get into Hackmos, you are literally there across blockchain in the global, right? So on-chain as such. So I think thankful to, again, a lot of partners that we could pull in, and they were all willing to support Cosmoverse. I wanted you to hear that out, and the extended community which is listening now should take this into account, that there is a fantastic positive response for Cosmoverse right now.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think in terms of programming, I don't know if Sisla, if you have more to share, but probably before you do that, or maybe after, I want to give it to Mishika from Dora to maybe do a quick walkthrough about the Dora platform. Let me also briefly just remind everyone, if you are still on the fence, if you want to come to Cosmoverse, and maybe you are based in Dubai, I know there's also a group of students watching the stream right now. You can basically come to our website, you click on Hackathon, and you can apply for a developer's pass. We'll review each application, and then we'll approve them and send your ticket, which means complimentary ticket for Hackmos and Cosmoverse as well, which means basically 6 days of events. And yeah, that includes also F&B, access to mentors, access to also all of our speakers. And we have some very, very high profile speakers. Sandeep is going to be there, who I know is like a superstar in India. We have Coimbatore, Greg, the founder of Akash Network, is there. Sunny is there. Celestia founder, even like cross ecosystem, right? We have Mert, who is well known in the Solana ecosystem. Ren is going to be there from Crypto Banter, media partners, the founder of Torchain, Chain Yoda, who I think is also well known in the Indian community. The Cosmos co-founder himself, Ethan Buckman, is going to be there. Carol, founder of Union. Yeah, I think we have a very stacked lineup. Yeah, Warden is also going to be there. Sislav, you are. Yeah, we have a stacked lineup, and I think just meeting those people in person and like having access to them is already like a huge value. But yeah, I don't know, Sisla, Mishika, who wants to take it from here?
Yeah, I just have one quick closing thought. Yeah, we've wanted to state that this time we had a lot of students. Usually, like I think 80% of the time, when it's a Web3 hackathon, you have some sort of working professionals, right? Like you have 1 or 2 year experienced people getting involved and so on and so forth. Not a lot of like students directly dig deep into blockchain and then start working on things. But this time there was, at least in Hyderabad, there was a way in which we spread the word with, colleges before the 21st of September, and that has led to an influx of students. So what I'd like to share is, as a student, if you participated, obviously, I think you've heard this before, but winning is not everything. So even if there's no concept of winning or losing, especially in the India hackathon. Within Hackmos, it'll be there, right? So glad that you've been able to learn more about the stack. Continue to contribute to the stack, right? And or just utilize the stack and continue getting involved in the communities that you already joined. Beat the same Telegram groups that you already joined, for your respective cities. The Cosmos India group, right? Stay connected there. You definitely now have peers that you can learn from. Now you understand how complementing skill sets in blockchain work, right? So these are some of the basics that I'm pretty sure you might have picked up in the last 2 weeks if you've been serious about this project. I know there have been some exams and here and there, but most people that took up the challenge, even submissions, right? Like they weren't like full submissions. We've received full submissions as well, but some of them weren't full submissions and they did their best, and that's what we want to see. So with that being said, I think there is this Hyderabad, right? Like within whatever we could. So Omniflix is also making sure that there are prizes for participants that are involved. So there has been a Google form that we've shared. There have been some entries. If you're watching this, you'll also receive an email. But if you're watching this, fill out the form, the DoraHacks form as well. That has been sent to your email last night. So just check out all of these details. Stay in sync with the ecosystem. We too did not go to our first Cosmos and it has already been like 4 years since we got started with Cosmos by 2021. So that after 2021 we went. So your first Cosmoverse event, even if you don't make it, even if you just get to know the ecosystem, it is good enough, because all the people that you see on Twitter, right, will be the same people that you'll see at the event, right? So definitely next year, if you come down, participate, get involved, and if you come down, it'll be an even more, it'll be a stellar experience, right? So again, thanks to everyone for organizing this. we have been very excited and are still very excited for Cosmos, FlixFest, and everything else that Cosmos offers in Dubai.
Thanks a lot, sir. Love the enthusiasm and passion as always. But yeah, let's get over to Mishika. Maybe you can do a quick kind of rundown on the platform, and yeah, that would be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks a lot, Sito. Yeah, and thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in and sharing great thoughts and doing the work that you've been doing across different cities. I think, especially for the developers who are just starting out, I think this is a great, great opportunity. And obviously, if you've been in the space for a while, like Sito also mentioned, there are a lot of chains which happen to, do very well in the ecosystem, but often we do not realize it's, built on Cosmos. I see that as a win. Um, Enabling interoperability to a level that you don't need to scan through the chain. But yeah, we while at the same time we also don't want to not have new developers, and that is the entire reason why we're doing initiatives like this. I'll share my screen shortly, but what I want to show you is basically two things. I want to take you through the Hackmos portal, that is the official Hackmos portal, that DoraHacks portal that will be used during the conference in Dubai. And I also want to show you the page that Sisla was recently talking about, which is the Hyderabad Omniflix Challenge. We also did an email blast last night, or I think yesterday evening, to all the DoraHacks developers. And there would also be links in the live chat, which would consist of the events happening today. And also, the Telegram groups of the different city chapters. Feel free to join, connect with the projects, talk more about what you're building, hopefully also find peers to build with. Yeah, with that being said, let me share my screen. Can you guys see it? Okay. So this is the Hackmos page. I'll not take a lot of time in this because the submission, like I said, like we also mentioned multiple times, it's October 25th to 27th. So that is actually the time when the portal would be open for submission. You see a price pool of 100K USD, which is again it's a lot more to the price pool. It is mentorship by great mentors. It is all the experience that you will get with different developers. It is the project, your exposure your project will get. But these are the few details on the detail tab on the hackathon page. This is what just Sito just showed, the official Hackmos website, wherein you can go register, read more about the tracks. And yeah, all the entry requirements, the judging criteria that you also might want to look at before making your decision or building your project, because it is very important in determining where your project goes from here. Then the participating team is usually 1 to 6 people per team. While you can also build solo, it's also great to build in a team. um, and yeah, the submission process is quite simple. When the portal is open, you register as a hacker, submit the build, which I will show in a bit. But these are the different tracks that are upcoming. All of these tracks are led by different partners. This is the interchain track, the Bitcoin track, tokenization track, DeFi track, and there will be a lot more information on these respective pages in a few days' time. But yeah, the DeFi track, AEZ track. So we have a couple tracks coming up. And this is the hacker Q&A. So once you've registered as a hacker, so let's say I click on this and yeah, I click on this and register as a hacker. It will take me to the Hackmos application, which will be another Google form. So once you've done that, once you've filled that, you can always drop your question over here. These questions would be picked up by the organizers, or the team, the Cosmoverse team, and they would be addressed here. Or you can also or join the Hackmos Telegram group, which we've also, like I said, dropped in the live chat. So feel free to pick up relevant links from there. These are more ideas. These are basically just a few things for you to look at. This is generated by GPT-4, so might not be perfect, but would be great to get you started if you're just looking out what to build, getting started in the ecosystem. So this is the Hackmos page, and a lot more obviously with what Sito showed. But apart from this, I'll take you to the Hyderabad challenge.
Can I just, in the meantime, add one more thing? Because I think it's also important with regards to the prize pool. It shows 100K on the portal, but it doesn't mean that like one team wins $100,000, right? Like I was explaining earlier, we have 8 different tracks and bounties, and each track will have multiple teams winning, right? So the major prize pools, like let's say, for example, on one of the tracks, the winning team gets $10,000. The second winning team, the second best team, gets $5,000, and the third one $3,000, for example, right? And like Mishika was saying, you can hack solo, or you can build a team. You can also join the Telegram group. There's already a lot of activity from people that are asking to form teams, that say, hey, I have this idea already, looking for someone to do XYZ. So I think if you join the Telegram group, you can already meet some of the developers that are looking to form teams. And the reason I want to point out the prize pool structure is the chances are actually very, very high that you're winning prize money, because we have 8 tracks. Let's say 2 teams win a prize per track. There's already 16 winning teams. If each team consists of 3-4 people, that's already like 40-50 people that are, in the kind of prize pool at Hackmos. It's actually going to be a lot more than that. So those are actually kind of conservative estimations. And also based on last year, I think a lot of the teams, not only did they win prize money for Hackmos, but then they also went a step further and maybe applied for a larger grant from that project. And a lot of these teams that have tracks this year, like also Ali was sharing earlier about Warden, Love Nation Union, especially like those projects that are now getting prepared for mainnet and launch, they actively seek developer teams to also apply for grants, to build applications, to build products on their tech. So I think Hackmos is a great place to, number one, get connected, build something, maybe win some prize money, and then 2, in the next step, to also maybe apply for a larger grant, and maybe then also eventually get funding for your project, right? I think last year the applications have been really, really amazing, very high quality and high productivity. But yeah, back to you, Mishika.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sito. Yeah, the more tracks, the more teams, the more, sort of sub price pools or smaller price pool, the more chances that you have of getting your hands on one. But yeah, like also Sito mentioned, this might come off as a hackathon, but this is more of, an opportunity for you to build in the space. It is very advisable, and, it's something always preferable that you come into the hackathon with a roadmap of how you will, after this hackathon, sustain your project, land your project in the market, etc. Yeah, with that, there's another thing that I want to show you, which is the Cosmos Hyderabad Hackathon by Omniflix. And yeah, while the submission deadline is super close, but I think this is another opportunity for you to at least, get started with your project or get connected with the Omniflix team, and yeah, just brainstorm with them. Even if you have an idea, feel free to drop that in. Feel free to also drop a document or a video in any form in a Google Drive link, talking about what you plan to build, a description of your project, etc. If you're not, super ready to launch your project. But yeah, the problem statement over here is to build a Web3 ticketing system using the Cosmos stack. This is the Google form that we were talking about a while ago. And while you can also submit your hackathon over here, it's you can also take the route of submitting it on DoraHacks itself. And yeah, the organizers will pick up the hackathon from both the places. So no stress on if you've submitted on either, using the either ways. Um, but yeah, like I said, this is the overview of the problem. This is the challenge breakdown, which the organizers were very kind to also throw some light at. These are the deliverables, and this is the evaluation criteria. Everything that is super important for you to go through as a developer participating in the Hyderabad challenge. And yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't want to restrict this just to the developers in Hyderabad. Anyone from India can come in and um, and yeah, these are this is the Hackmos prize pool, like Sito mentioned. But this is, if you see, this is like a non-cash prize, because the incentives are that, if your project would be selected, if your idea would be selected, you would get an all-paid trip to Hackmos. You will get an opportunity to network with the folks over there, to build over there, to participate in the developer track at Hackmos, get mentored by the best in ecosystem folks. Um, I'll show you the process briefly. To register, just click on this register as a hacker. You write your organization, company, school, or even just the the name of your project. Drop a short intro over here, add in your skill set, interest, etc., and continue. This way, as you've successfully registered for the hackathon. Once you've registered for the hackathon, what this enables is the notifications over here related to this hackathon, related to key dates, etc. But what really is the the source to this is to submit your build, to submit your project. Now, if you're already a hacker on DoraHacks, and if you've already built a Web3 ticketing platform with the requirements and the integrations required for this one, feel free to use an existing build that you've already used. So you can go to the drop down, select your track, add in the information, etc. But in this case, because this hackathon has certain requirements that you need to look at, I would assume that most of you would like to create a new build. So just click on this and press on continue. This is all the information that we would require for you to sort of drill down over here. Um, let's say the name of my project is Ticketmaster. And by the way, all of this is just, sample information that I'm filling up. But feel free to customize the information. This is the logo. This is the vision. A vision is basically, maybe like a 3 to 5 word sentence wherein you are just talking about what you're building, or which gives anyone an idea of what you really want to do with the project. Select the category, add the layer 1 or layer 2 that you're building in. In this case, this will be Cosmos. Add the app change that you've built using. And yeah, all of this is optional. This is the GitHub link. If you have a working um, project, it is highly advisable to also add the GitHub link. This is the project website. Like I said, always advisable to have a working demo, or if not a working demo, or if not a live website, feel free to also add in a demo video. This can be, you talking about your project. This can also be you showing around your website, etc. This is the social link. Feel free to add at least once. This helps us to give you a shout out, connect with you, get you connected to the right set of mentors, folks, etc. um, and then click on continue. I will have to add one over here. Yeah, then this is the detail of your project. This is the place where you will actually drill down into what you want to build or what you have built, and describe your build, the technology, the tech stack, the infrastructure, the vision, the roadmap a lot better. So yeah, feel free to take up all the space over here and talk in detail about your project. That is what the organizer would appreciate the most, and they would also have a deep vision into what you want to build. This is your team. So if you're building, obviously, in if you're building solo, no need to add anyone over here. Feel free to take it up by yourself. Feel free to have a short description of yourself over here, which can be what sort of do you want to, where do you want to take this project. If you have if you want to also write about the experience that you had in web 2, web 3, whatever it might be. And obviously, if you're building in team, feel free to invite your team members over here by their email IDs, and they will have an email on their they will have a mail on their which says that XYZ has invited you to be a part or be admin, whatever is built. And then they can also come in, edit the build information, add in more build information, etc. And yeah, this is the contact. We really want you to put this over here. It helps us to get you connected with the organizer, to get you connected with the mentors, etc., and also helps us to reach out to you. And yeah, feel free to add in the team name, the email for the confirmation, your phone number to reach out, your code base, like GitHub, etc. And please make sure it is not private. It is open for the organizers to view. Let me add in just sample text over here. And you can add in the role of each contributor. For example, if I'm building in a team of 3, feel free to write who did what. what was the role, etc. This is the demo video. You can either put a drive link or upload it on YouTube, add in the unlisted URL over here. Don't make it private, make sure it is unlisted. Yeah, this is basically, your learnings from the hackathon or while building, etc. You can also drill down on your thought process over here. This is the challenges faced, etc. If this is basically a feedback for the team or the organizer, that they will have from the devs, and check this box and submit for review. Yeah, and this way you've successfully submitted your build. Yeah, a lot of this would also resemble in the Hackmos, in the hackathon that we're leading towards, that we're moving towards. The submission process remains the same. On Hackmos, you will also see another tab over here which talks about submission process. If anything from this was unclear, feel free to go on the tab. The tab will also have step-by-step process on how hackers need to submit the information. And yeah, that's it. I know, like I said, the submission deadline is very near, so feel free to put your thoughts together in a doc or in a video and submit that. That is also very favorable for you. If the Omniflix team ends up thinking the project has potential, they will reach out to you. Either case, you can also join the Telegram groups that we shared in the chat for every city. They will have a lot more coming up, and that is also your opportunity to connect with the team, keep building, have a solid roadmap, etc. But yeah, that was it from my end. This is if you have any questions, by the way, related to platform ops, etc., feel free to reach out to me on Twitter, Telegram. I'm at Mishika251, which is MISHIKA251, or even on the chats that we've dropped. Everyone would be there to help you out.
Thank you so much for the walkthrough. I think this is very, very valuable, and makes it super easy for developers to get onboarded and get started. Yeah, as we're wrapping up the session, I just want to give once again a brief kind of reminder and overview, and also maybe like a TLDR of this session today. So I think number one, apply for your developers pass. Go on the Dora portal, like Mishika gave us a full rundown of everything. Submit your build, participate in the Cosmos Hyderabad bounty, which is basically open for anyone to join. And also keep an eye on those tracks and prices on the Cosmoverse website, cosmoverse.org/Hackmos. We're also going to share that link, make it available to everyone. But this will then also directly redirect you to the Dora portal for each specific track led by each of these projects. Agoric, they also have their bounty program. And I also asked each of these projects to basically prepare like a recorded video where they're like walking you through on the objectives of their bounty and their track, how you can be best prepared over the next 2.5 weeks, so that when you're coming to customers, when you're coming to Hackmos, you're not starting from zero, right? Obviously, if that's the case and you don't have time to get prepared, that's also fine. But we just want to share relevant resources and make that available to everyone right after this session today. And then also we have in-person events happening. For that, I'm going to give it to Rhythm. We're going to have in-person events today in 3 cities across India. So Rhythm, yeah, maybe you can share some more on that.
Sure, Sito, thanks a lot. So basically talking about the in-person events that has been happening so far in India, we started from 21st of September, which was the first weekend after we kickstarted Cosmos India. We had a very basic sessions over there where we talked about Cosmos, IBC, Cosmo, VFP and everything. So that gives you a quick overview what Cosmos ecosystem is. And then after then on the second weekend, that was on 28th and 27th of September, we had leveled up event where we discussed about more things like what is the code stack, how you can start working with the Cosmos SDK. Now talking about the third set of event that is today, and we have different event in the different cities in India. So first of all, talking about Cosmos Mumbai. In the Cosmos Mumbai, we have Decentra classes hosting this sort of event where they'll be talking about Warden Protocol, what is AIBI, what is Cosmos SDK, all the basics related to it, and also we'll have a general discussion on blockchain and AI. So of course that's gonna be insightful session for you. If you are from Mumbai, please do attend the session, and we'll be sharing the registration links as well so that you can sign up for those. It is happening in Lumus Co-work, which is in Andheri West. And the next event is happening in Hyderabad today at 4 p.m., which is led by Omniflix. And the great part is that, there will be an insightful session from Deep Chena, who is a Web3 expert at Google. So, of course, you can get some information from the industry expert, how, you can be part of crypto and Web3, and you can work in FANG companies and many more companies who are big in the industry. And then at 5 p.m. today in Delhi, we have another event led by Union, where we'll be talking about ZK and a complete track on ZK, which is led by Union at Cosmoverse, so that it will give you an idea how you can start working on that track. And of course, you can join their fellowship program and can submit a MVP so that they can evaluate those and can, maybe you can get a chance to fly to Dubai for free. So yeah, these are the three set of events happening today in India and on different timings. I'll be just sharing the link in the chat and request Lynn and Mishika to please circulate the registration link among everyone. So yeah, I guess that is more over it. And these are the third set of events happening over here in India. And the last set of event will happen on the next weekend, that is on 12th and 13th. So yeah, pretty much excited. And we are halfway to Cosmos India and halfway more to go. So huge shout out to everyone who is helping us organize the event, and a very deeply gratitude to foundership who has been leading the initiatives for us, and also to DoraHacks, who has been like the backbone of all the event that we have been doing for Cosmoverse and Hackmos. So yeah, kudos to everyone who is connected with us, and we look forward to hosting you in the next event that we have today.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And also, just to give some impressions on these events, and like pictures and clips say a lot more about than words. This has been the last session we had in Hyderabad, led by Fitbit and Omniflix. And I think this is exactly what we've been talking about this entire session, like giving a good entry point for developers, an overview of our partners. This was the event led by Warden. Here we have Ali as well, who left already, but a group of developers in Mumbai coming together. This was the Bangalore event that we had at the Zoo House. Also, like different ecosystem projects, F&B, catering is all covered at those events. And yeah, I think overall, so far it's been a huge success. And I think, if you participate in some of these events, then you probably are already familiar with some of these faces and some of these people. And yeah, RSVP on the Luma, and yeah, I think everything else we discussed in depth. So yeah, maybe Santosh, Mishika, any final words from you? I see Lovnish is also still here. Any final words, Santosh?
Yeah, no, I think this is a wonderful initiative, and kudos to everybody involved, in this effort to get people out. I think this has been an amazing focus and drive by everybody to bring the developers to the Cosmos ecosystem, and thankful to all the fellow folks. I must say that Cosmos is definitely lucky to have such young folks, right? Driving with energy and enthusiasm. I know each of them personally. Lovely them anyway, and Sistla and many other ones. Mishika on the other side now with Dora, you would get fantastic support. So I think the developers hearing it out, you are surrounded by people who are doers here, whose intent is to be and be there and help you in the right direction. So don't come with a mindset to just win a here and there, but this could be a life-changing global platform that you're going to get it. I think you should come with that intent, and rest is going to be the history that you're going to witness from here on. So I think that's pretty much from my side, Sito. Thank you, everybody.
So
Just one more thing to add upon, as Sita already mentioned that, it's just not that after Cosmos India that is ending on 21st and 22nd of October, we won't have any further events. I personally, being the project lead of Cosmos India, I'll make sure that we have more and more Cosmos related events happening over here in India. And of course, I'll keep on pinging CryptoCito and the whole Cosmos team to maybe have next set of Cosmoverse event happening over here in India. So let's see. Let's maybe flood his DMs with all the requests to have the next Cosmoverse in India.
So, I guess, yeah, we should have one Cosmoverse in India. We have ETH India, Solana Hacker Houses, Cosmoverse is the next one. So, like last thoughts, Cosmos is connecting all the chains across, built on top of Cosmos, and we at Union, like we are trying to connect different ecosystems all together. We have already connected like Cosmos to Polygon, Cosmos to Arbitrum, Cosmos to Scroll, Cosmos to Berachain, and then vice versa, Berachain to Scroll or Berachain to Arbitrum, right? So yeah, like join the Cosmos ecosystem and eventually join the Union to make your project interoperable with VK tech.
Sounds bullish, sir. Final words, Mishika?
Yeah, no, I think we've covered a lot of it. I would just wish everyone good luck. And Cosmos is and always has been very ahead of its time, which also means enabling a lot of opportunities for the builders if you look through different projects and different ecosystems. So yeah, put your hacker hats on. Even if you have like a booming idea, it doesn't necessarily need to be a project well drilled down. An idea could be turned into something very amazing with the help of the partners that we have. Feel free to always connect and DM any one of us, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Yeah, grab this opportunity and make the most out of it. And good luck, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much. Also, everyone tuning in for this live session. Share the link to this video. I think we want to make this as much known as possible. And yeah, I think that's all. See you at the event, some of you, I guess, and latest at Cosmos. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining in. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.